One of my earliest memories playing on a friend's Xbox 360 is playing Lost Planet and thinking it's the hardest game ever created. I think I quite literally died 1,000 deaths during my original playthrough. After I completely ignored part 2 and 3, I pretty much banished the Capcom product from my memory. Now, years later, I wanted to find out if the third-person shooter holds up and if my memory of the difficulty is true. The world of the Lost Planet is a harsh one. The colony is covered in a never-ending ice shell, and the cold wind constantly brings new snow. This makes life on the surface pretty much impossible. That already makes the colony not the preferred place to live, but the gigantic bug monsters out to kill you aren't the most pleasant thing either. The story mode kicks off with a lot of action. A small group of soldiers is ambushed by the life form known as Acrids. But don't you worry, Resident Hero Dad Gale and his VS Mech are here to save the day.
What's that? What? Fire! We've run into some trouble. This is bad. Damn you sons of bitches!
Sorry I was late.
Better late than never.
Oh, but you don't get to play as him ever. You have the honor of being stuck with the less cool son of the badass pilot. Now, where have I... Well, as Wayne, who is told by Dad,
Fall back. This is no time to be a hero.
you first get used to the controls while being on foot. You can see that this game was in development in Japan before the original Gears of War, cause it's a third-person shooter, but there's no cover system for knee-high cover. The gimmick of this game is the grapple hook anchor that can be used to cover heights quickly, pull yourself closer to things, pull items to you, or stun enemies as a melee weapon. I'd say it's a long way from the Just Cause 3 grapple system, but for a 2009 release it's pretty responsive, and I bet it's especially satisfying to master in the multiplayer. After getting used to Wayne's world, who by the way is modeled after South Korean actor Lee Byung-han, I don't know why that is, but he's a good looking guy and to my knowledge didn't pull a gag until now, you're greeted by something very big and very angry. Sometimes it's better to retreat than to face your problems head on, and this big green-eyed monster is that kind of problem. The cat and mouse game comes to an abrupt end, with your dad shielding you from a seemingly mortal blow. And now, you're about to find out why Lost Planet is the most complicated story told in the most easy way. You wake up being nursed back to health by resident scientist Yuri. After a short promise not to talk about your flashy arm bling,
your arm will be our little secret. It's complicated. Come in!
you meet the rest of the so-called snow pirates, and oh my god, what are you wearing, girl?
Welcome back.
Who are you? Me? I'm Yuri. That's Luca and Rick. Do you remember your name?
Wayne.
Excellent.
Luca is normal enough, but the cleavage really bothers me. Never thought I'd say that. Now, girl is always allowed to up the sex appeal, but that seems a bit redundant when you think about how there were only 3 people here up until now, one being your brother and you being the only girl. For the most part she covers up the goods in the Arctic weather, except sometimes you get unsure what you're working with. Never mind that. Rick, I appreciate your style, but I've never seen anybody rock a grenade necklace so comfortable, even if there are dots. It's, let's call it, a questionable statement. Like a proper hero, you suffer from some sort of amnesia, so not too much is asked or answered in any form. The only thing everybody is sure of is that the bugs have to die.
One day, someone like me is gonna kill you and your whole fucking race.
To achieve that, you have to end the big boss of each hive, and being able to pilot the VS Mechs would be an advantage. Great. Now to explain how the basic gameplay of each mission works. Your job is basically always reach point A and fight a boss. Simple enough. But besides the obvious reasons of being clawed and shot at if you ignore the enemies on the way, another design choice keeps you from just booking it. You see, instead of a health meter or a bloody screen, your vital status is determined by your supply of T energy. Each time you get hit outside of a VS, your T energy will be used to top off your bar like a halo shield. Reach 0 T energy and each hit will probably be the last. Even avoiding all hits doesn't mean your energy doesn't need to be managed, as the energy constantly ticks down in the cold climate and the powerful VS units use it as a fuel or ammunition. Each time you drop an enemy or destroy a container, you're normally rewarded with some cheese to keep you going. Same goes with the waypoints, that make sure you keep your way in the wide hell or huge bases. Work your way forward at a steady pace and soon enough you face the first hive boss. His pattern isn't that complex and his weak point is a giant glowing thingy on his tail, and everything but hard to figure out. Keep an eye on him while he runs up the walls and you're quickly done. After a brief history lesson,
where do I begin? This world was first discovered 150 years ago.
The humans couldn't resist the vicious attacks of the Acrid. They even had to abandon the colony once. Only a few privileged made it off-world.
All of the less fortunate colonists were left
Behind, and eventually became snow pirates.
Exactly.
your next fight is against a more human foe, the Crimson Snow Pirates. Fighting humans is a bit more tricky, because they are smaller and have the ability to use VS themselves. Through the use of rocket launchers, sniper rifles and superior VS piloting, you make short work of them however. For the troubles, our crew gets some sweet new trailer, obvious secrets, more blackouts and growing trust issues.
Nevek.
Yuri.
Oh, it's nothing. Wayne?
Wayne! Explain yourself. That thermal energy supply is for emergencies only. What happened to it?
I gave it to Wayne.
Yuri, just who is that guy? You've been hiding something ever since we rescued him. But you better tell me. Now!
If you knew, it might create a rift between you two.
And it's fast becoming a canyon! How can I trust someone I don't know? This. Oh.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Up next is the biggest mission of them all. To cross a big open field. Of course, there's a monster awakening to eat you. Run away. Oh, look at the time! It's time for a rival fight! After witnessing my masterclass mech skills, she otherwise he chooses to retreat. Back at the base, Wayne overhears some not-so-secret talk about something called the Frontier Project between Yuri and two soldiers of the evil Mech army.
Better hurry up with the rendezvous.
Then, you agree to our request, Dr. Solotov.
Nevik. We both share a common goal. I see no problem with that.
We'll be waiting then. With your help, we should make good progress on the Frontier Project.
Give my regards to Commander Eisenberg. Eavesdropping. That's not very nice.
You're working with Nevik?
The Frontier Project is a large-scale undertaking to terraform the planet, making it warm enough for all humans to live comfortably.
Terraforming. It's not possible.
I've been looking for ways to warm the planet and to bring hope to the people that live on this rock for a long time now. Nevik and I share that dream.
Driving out the Acrid is just a cover then. You've been lying to Luca and Rick.
No. They understand me. You should get some rest. I'll set up tomorrow's route by morning. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow.
Yuri tells you to not worry about it, so you don't.
Don't worry about that. Danny, don't worry about it.
On the next mission, you have a mountain to climb, literally. Also, this is the first time the difficulty of combat picks up quite significantly, and you actually have to start thinking about how to take out enemy forces without taking too much damage yourself. Here, check this out. They were so proud of this shot that you get knocked down no matter where you are or what you do. Anyway, you make your way to the summit using your grapple hook and robot jumping powers, only to fight a gigantic bee acrid, which in all fairness is the coolest boss fight until now. Try not to get stung though.
Yuri's things! They're gone!
What? Where could he have gone?
Fool!
Back at the gang's hideout, the current development comes as a surprise to no one, so Wayne is straight off to climb even higher and defeat the next boss in the form of a Final Fantasy monster. After that, Luca and Rick's trust meter is at 100% and they start talking to you if you are the savior of their clan or something, even though you were only 4 people to begin with.
We finally made it to the Green Eye.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
I'm sorry that I said I couldn't trust you before.
Oh. Don't worry about it.
When Yuri left, we all felt abandoned. You could have easily moved on too, but you stayed with us.
This whole cutscene is so strange, it even cuts itself off.
I'm really sorry for what I said.
When Wayne cares so little about his friends, he obviously forgot their last names or something.
She must be talking about Yuri. Remember? Yuri's last name is Solotov.
Anyway, the other VS pilot is a woman named Basil. She wants to find Yuri, but he's not there, so she leaves. Time to fight the green-eyed monster from the beginning, I guess.
Wayne.
We came here for the Green Eye.
Because this is a story with giant mechs, you can't do that in just any old scrap metal build. What you need, young protagonist, is the mech your father used to pilot. Because it is the special one. Duh. The fight goes as you expect it to. You shoot his cut off weak points and try not to get crushed. Oh, and it would help if you use a working controller. You don't really get time to celebrate your victory as you're ambushed by Nevik and meet your true rival, who is, let's say, almost comical evil looking and sounding, and in fact the one who really finished your daddy.
Must continue at any cost.
That's the same as the one Wayne has.
Sorry.
Huh?
It's been a long time.
Bandero, you bastard.
Goodbye, Gale. Try to have some dignity in death.
You just remember that now. You want to have a big battle to avenge your dad for real this time, but Luca proves her usefulness by just standing around and becoming a target. So you'll leave the dead match with the evildoers and make a dramatic escape with your companion.
Luca!
Wayne!
Escape to nothing, that is, as all that is left of your base are the smoldering remains of a trailer and no Rick.
Rick. Rick! Wayne!
Even your dad thinks you should do better.
Must stop them. You must stop the Frontier Project at all costs. Wayne, continue the fight. You must stop the project. It is connected to what you treasure most.
Well, it's time for a swift strike back, I'm sure.
1 year later. In order to see the Frontier Project through to its completion, Nevik steps up its campaign against anything that might interfere. Its efforts to eliminate both the Snow Pirates and Acrid have reached new levels of intensity. Meanwhile, Wayne and Luca have been separated from Rick and their base of operations. Now they have no choice but to resort to guerrilla hit-and-run tactics.
These tactics involve just walking into a garage and getting a new base and Rick back. So I don't get why this time skip was necessary at all.
Wayne! You alright?
Yeah.
It's wonderful. We can definitely use this.
No more pitching tents for us.
Rick!
So, I'm not just seeing things. Luca! Wayne!
You're alive.
You better believe it!
Darkness, my old friend.
I'm still here.
I've come to talk with you.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
Oh, I got you.
At least Rick brings you up to date and points you to the next objective. Well, all that stands between you and Basil is a plane filled with acrids and some serious security. Oh, and a boss battle against the enemy Mech. But you have enough firepower to handle all of that. One-shot style at standoff later.
Don't move.
One-on-one, you don't stand a chance.
How about 2-on-1? Ditch the gun and answer the man's question.
The Frontier Project.
You okay?
It's just a scratch. It's been a long time. I'm glad to see you again. Have Rick check this out. He might find something useful.
You have the data on the Frontier project. Only one thing left to do. A short trip through an active volcano. You'll learn an interesting fact about people with the T-energy arm.
Hold on. What was that about 30 years?
Gale's death. It's been 30 years. I first came to this world 10 years before that.
What? What are you talking about?
The power to delay the aging process.
I was buried under a mountain of ice for 30 years before Yuri found me.
It's time for us to go our separate ways.
Basil. Thank you.
And another boss battle against an even bigger transforming enemy Mech. You meet the least threatening primary antagonist in a long time, Dennis Eisenberg.
You've done a fine job. One man destroying this whole facility. No ordinary man could pull that off.
Something's wrong. I don't read any signs of life in the area.
Who are you?
The name's Dennis Eisenberg. I oversee Nevik's operation on this planet. And you are?
Wayne.
A perfect world free of the Acrid. The Frontier Project is what will shake the colonists of this planet free from that horrible nightmare. But they didn't, and thus they had to pay the price.
With their lives.
On occasion. It's never easy to kill someone you felt close to at one time.
So you killed my father.
Your father? Me?
My father's goal was to bring an end to the Frontier Project.
So, you're Gale's boy. What a sad end! I wanted Gale to come around and understand my dream. Then together we could have achieved it.
I'm not registering a life sign from that guy.
Wayne! Rick found something.
His contributions have propelled our efforts light years ahead. He was truly a genius.
Was?
Don't jump to conclusions now. I haven't killed him or anything.
He's just resting. Taking a pleasant nap in a place without any distractions.
A very quiet place. Too bad. Looks like we won't be coming to any understandings today.
Unsure what to do next, our heroes get help from their new best friend, the guy that was beaten unconscious a few cutscenes back.
Commander!
Huh?
What do we do next?
Next?
Hey, we can't just sit around here doing nothing.
We all want to be doing something, anything, but we don't have any clue where to go next. We don't even know what Nevik is up to. Or what Yuri is up to.
There is still one lead available. This place might be worth checking out.
So you get to try yourself as an operator for having mining machinery, and fight a gigantic spider and her brood. The gang gets some much needed bonding time and gets ready to finally stop the evil Nevek at their very own space elevator.
I'm feeling the effects. My memory loss is probably related to this.
What?
Basil filled me in.
Thank you. I can understand you being upset.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But you were betrayed too. And I'm sorry you had to feel what we felt. Anyway, more than having trouble with forgiving you for dragging Wayne into that trap, I'm having trouble understanding why you did it. Anyway, it's all water under the bridge now.
Yeah.
If that doesn't sound like the most obvious final stretch for a game, then I don't know what does.
Well, it's hard to swallow, but I trust you.
First off, beat the final boss of the Acrid Hive, certainly the most involved boss fight so far, as you have to go underground and attack him from within to even start damaging him. Only now is the time for the ex-Nevek soldier to give you a highly plot-relevant present from Yuri, who was a good guy all along.
What's this?
A friend of yours gave it to me.
Friend? You don't mean Yuri?
What I've heard confirms what Eisenberg said, that he was thrown into a containment facility. It wasn't just because of his involvement in the Frontier project, but also due to his sniffing around too much.
Where are they holding him? Do you know?
Conveniently enough, it's on the way to the orbital elevator.
Let's go.
Sorry I hesitated earlier. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine I'd be shaking hands with a snow pirate.
Never mind that, it is time for the rival battle, and you know what that means. You and I are not so different. And loud Metal Gear Rising music.
Hey, how's that leg doing? You bounce back fast. Just like me. So tell me, what did Gale do to you? Something to do with this thing, right? You know what bothers me?
What?
I don't know what you're capable of, but you're an itch I can't scratch. I didn't care when I thought the experimental model was just that witch. But then I come to find that I was just another prototype. I'm just a worthless stepping stone for some damn kid!
That VS belongs to me.
I'm not finished! You're just like your father. Talking down to me with that same damn holier-than-thou attitude. The VS belongs to you, huh? If you want it, come and get it!
The fight itself is pretty cool. You use the pillars as cover and do as much damage to your superior mech without getting hit by his strong attacks. especially look out for his grab attack, as it isn't a good time for your robot. Now stuff gets really crazy, from this strange villain death to oh hey it's Yuri but oh no he's dying,
Wayne, get over here!
to Basil coming in, saying her revenge plot didn't matter and staying back for some reason without a mech.
What about you? His father is the one who...
After a little digging around, some more things came to light. You were right. Ivan was just being used by Nevek.
I see. Reinforcements will be coming soon. Come with me.
No! I'll stay here and buy you some time.
To tell you using your power-up could have some side effects and buy you some time?
Harmonizer, there is a chance something unwelcome might occur.
Unwelcome?
It could happen again. You might lose all of your memory.
I don't care. I'll use it.
I see.
Basil, what's going on?
Nothing. Talk to you later.
Hey, Basil, come in!
You must protect our last hope. My time has come.
Wayne, with his dying friend Yuri in his arms, knows he has to do it to them, however, and after promising Luca to not die,
Friend. I will use this, and I will kill Eisenberg.
Wayne! I heard the talk with Basil. Please. Just be careful. I don't want to lose anyone else. Come back to me.
finally takes off all the limiters.
Do the impossible, see the invisible. Row, row, fight the power. Touch the untouchable, break the unbreakable. Row, row, fight the power. Power to the peeps, power for the dreams. Still missing piece, scattering so incomplete. We be that once
I'll handle that. Focus on getting the system up and running. That's twice he's interfered with my plans. I grow tired of this game.
This final battle is cool and all. It even took me some attempts to figure out how to beat old Dennis. The trick is to never not go in. Stay on his ass the whole time, and you and your energy sword will make short work of him.
Get ready to rumble, now is the time, If you ain't know, now you know. Impossible, see the invisible. Row, row, fight the power. Touch the untouchable, break the unbreakable. Row, row, fight the power. What you gonna do is what you wanna do. Just break the rule, then you see the truth. This is the cheat cool, baby. Row, row, fight the power. Second verse dedicates to the real peeps. What we gotta say is so real thing, cause revolution ain't never gonna televise. Kicking a map, whoa, microphone phenotype. Opening third eye, seeing through the overground. I'm about to hit you with a scream from underground. Whole city's covered with a cyber flavor cheese in the area. We're now the toughest enigma.
All this build up gets rewarded with a good old fashioned fade to black gunshot.
I must kill you. To end this!
most satisfying cliffhanger. And yet another time skip plus
It's been
ending
1 year
sequence.
since it all happened. I've decided to pick up where Yuri left off. The weather's favorable. What's going on?
Polka, this is amazing! Are you watching this?
Yes. It truly is amazing.
I'll check another spot!
I'm starting to see Yuri's dream. This is such a small beginning, but it's an important first step. I wish he could be here to experience it when the fruit of his vision is born. Wayne, I wish you could be here to see this.
It's amazing. Wonderful. I can feel the warmth. You did all of this by yourself? I'm sorry. I just never expected to see dirt or grass here.
Are you?
Me? Well, I don't know what to say.
I'm sorry. How rude of me. My name is Luca. It's nice to meet you.
So that was Lost Planet. It's a strange one. The gameplay is awesome and fast, the premise is pretty cool, combining a bunch of themes you have the feeling of having seen before to do something fairly unique. The story, however, is way more convoluted than it needed to be. I even left out a lot of stuff that I found out on the wiki, like Wayne in fact being the clone of his father instead of his son. I just have a feeling there was a lot of writing done in Japan that never made it to overseas, or in the game for that matter. The characters are rather weak and actually do very little that would make you care for them. Still, they managed to defrost the planet without killing everything on it, giving us 2 sequels to maybe check out someday? So I clicked on the multiplayer tab just to check it out for you, but of course there's no one playing this old game. I'm not even sure if the servers are up and... Oh my god!